We are here with another Lean and Mean episode of the Cold Star Project, the podcast about the challenges of scaling tech firms quickly. Our guest today is Harry Kanistik. He is the founder of Mikaels Labs, which is in Eastern Europe. And Harry, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You bet. Harry, I wanted you on the show after running across you in a Facebook group and then having a look at your company and getting kind of excited about the advances in machine learning and artificial intelligence that your business is working on. Why don't you give us a quick summary of like what your company does and who you are best geared to help?
Yeah, sounds good. So Mikaels Labs is a software and product development company based in Tallinn, Estonia. It's a really small country in Northern Europe, right under Finland's population of 1 million people. And we work with companies across the globe. And our team is consistent only of senior developers. And we help companies, startups, and also traditional companies build their in-house technologies, and we're really focused on newer technologies such as machine learning and AI. And I think the one interesting thing about us is that all the developers in our team are at least 5-10 years experienced in their field. So basically hiring really experienced guys and working with really ambitious projects.
Okay. What is the kind of organization that is best to approach you and say, hey, we have a problem, can you help us out?
Yeah, like a bunch of our clients are startup companies, companies that need to build really innovative products, need to move really fast, and are willing to outsource their development work to us. But we also work with more traditional companies like telecom companies, logistics companies, and bunch of other type of clients. So, but to kind of summarize, I would say a company who wants to build something really innovative.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the objective of the applications that you're building is to do what? Help them make more money, save more money, reduce times of activities?
Yeah, like for some startups, we are their only development partner. So we build, some SaaS products. We have built some complicated integrations. So for some companies, we help them to kind of understand the AI, understand the machine learning technologies, and then help them start, gathering the data and getting into the point where they can start using the data. But for some other companies, we are like a partner who builds everything, from back end to front ends, from mobile app to websites to basically everything. So we're going to full service, but really focused on like newer technologies.
Okay, Harry. What is the biggest thing that you've seen business owners who want to talk to somebody like you, but they don't know, that you wish they knew? You were like, man, I wish you guys knew this before you talked to me.
Yeah, I think the general understanding about AI and machine learning technologies and everything under this umbrella is really modest on the market. So lots of people come to us with the idea that they want to start using AI to do something, and then after a few meetings and talking a little bit, you get into the point where you understand that that AI is not the solution for them. It's they need to do something else to achieve their goal. So I think the general know-how about this field is still really, really young.
Unfamiliar marketplace. I see a lot of people out there talking about AI, but it's not really AI when you dig into it. They're using something that really isn't.
And this marketing pass generates lots of people who want to do something in the space without having really understanding of the space or any experience.
Okay.
So it's a new and fast-growing area of IT development. So it's really interesting as well at the same time.
Now you talk about problem solving of complex problems, seeing a lot of complexity out there. Tell us more about that and the kind of problems that you have helped fix.
Yeah, like, for most of our clients, like we work with startups who come in with, like a product that doesn't function well, and then we just take it over, fix it, make sure they get the product market fit.
Mm-hmm.
Some challenges is just the labor problems. Like, it's nowadays in Europe and in the US, it's super difficult to find really good developers. If you're like a Google or some other big company, then you can attract the talents. But if you're a medium or smaller startup, or I don't want to say old boring company, but a traditional company, then it's really hard to attract this talent.
Mm-hmm.
So our strategy is to hire globally. So we don't look only Northern Europe as the place to hire, because there's a huge shortage of developers here. So we look them globally, and trying to connect them to the right projects.
Okay. Now, so you've got what we call a distributed workforce. They're all over the place. And I noticed in your hiring marketing, you talk a lot about productivity coming from a lack of a strict schedule. You don't like the idea of like a school or a college where people have to show up and be there from 9 to 5. Tell us a bit more about that kind of an environment that you've created.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think this is part of the problem that like bigger traditional companies, they expect you to show up at 9, leave at 5, get your work done, and this is not the environment where like the talent wants to go work in. So we have created completely different culture. We in our office, you can basically show up when you want. You have to commit your hours. You have to get your work done. We have rating systems and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But we give like lots of flexibility, because some people are productivity is high in the nighttime. Some people are, their productivity is really good in the morning. So we try to not tell them how to work. We let people tell us how they want to work.
Okay. What apps are you using for tracking that kind of productivity?
Yeah, we have built some in-house stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we use most of the kind of like from Jira to GitHub to Trello and all the mainstream products as well.
Okay.
So, but we also adapt to the client. So if client uses some sort of specific platform or tool, then we try to adapt our development team towards that.
Okay, so you want the end client to see what your people are doing as well.
Yeah, we like transparency, so we're happy to we kind of, the companies we work with, we're going to become part of their organization. So, and we try to adapt to them instead of trying to force the clients to use the tools we like to use.
Okay. Tell us a bit about AI from your perspective. What is AI to you? Where is it best fitting in solving problems for growing companies?
Yeah, I think AI is like a buzzword. It's like internet 20 years ago. So it's like more specifically, there's like machine learning, there's predictive analysis, there's data science, there's lots of different areas of AI. But everybody agrees, or at least most people agree, that this technology is going to be, or these technologies are going to be really disruptive, mostly changing the workforce, starting from self-driving cars, or automating online advertising, or doing stock trading, and like lots of different areas. So it kind of disrupts everything, and it's happening fast, because we're inside of this thing. Then it's hard to see, but if we 10 years down the road look back, then it's different world around us.
Right. Okay. When things go right and somebody comes to you and they say, Harry, I think Mikaels Labs can help us with this, and you dig into it, you have those 2 or 3 meetings, and it turns out, yes, you can help them. Are there some common parameters to the problem that you see over and over again?
I think it's lots of the companies we work are smaller startups. Then lots of them, they could even find like developers, but for them it's really difficult to get all the necessary pieces in place, starting from planning the architecture so that you can also continue developing the product a few years down the road, all the way down to having a good QA team who tests everything that is built. So I feel it's one part is it's hard to find developers, but it's also hard to find know-how how to put those developers to work. So we try to kind of help with both sides.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit more about that know-how.
Yeah, like, everybody in our team have been doing this for a long time. My background is in startups myself. My CTO is, have started startups, have built big development teams. So we have like, tens of years of experience. All our developers have 5-10 years of experience at least. And also most of them have been working with newer technologies. So if we combine this know-how, then we can not only offer the client what you can offer, we can offer the thing that is the best for the client, because we have all the different programming languages and expertise in-house.
Okay, so you're making a big distinction, which I think is fair, between somebody who just has the skill and somebody who has also gone through a few iterations of trying to implement using this skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that leads to hopefully a better, faster solution. These startup firms that you are dealing with, are they venture capital funded?
Some are, some are not.
Okay.
So at least here in Europe, like there's a trend a lot that people try to raise less money. In US, I just lived a year in US, came back to Europe. In US, people raise more money faster. So we work with both companies.
Okay, so though they may be classified as a startup, they generally, in your case, have gotten customers and they know some of the behaviors and what they want to get out of it then.
Yeah, like some companies, we meet and talk, they are really big already. So they are not man in the dog, they're already doing millions, billion revenue. So the problems are the same in that sense, that it's if you have 5 people team or 100 people team, it's you're still trying to find better ways to do IT, try to find better developers, and it's just that when you're getting bigger, it's easier to attract those talents. If you're really small, then it's almost impossible.
Yeah, you've got to have a big lure. Okay. So what kind of triggers have told you that, okay, the client is right and they actually do need something done that we can do?
Like usually, from clients, you expect them to understand their domain and their industry. So, if you meet with a logistics company, then, you want to make sure they understand logistics really well, because that's something we usually don't have the know-how in team. So, and then we put our know-how, how to implement different technologies into the mix, and then kind of work together to try to build something good.
Okay. Because like the first thing I was digging into there a few minutes ago was, how are these guys affording you, right? How can they pay for it if they're a startup? And sometimes they have VC money, sometimes they have market share already, so they're able to invest out of that. I worked with a change management expert in 2016 for the better part of a year, who only worked with logistics companies of 1,000 people or more. So I've seen into that world, and it is very interesting. And I know for a fact that your business can be of great value to them.
Yeah,
Complex. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to add that, there's a saying that I'm not so rich to hire cheap IT resource, because at the end of the day, it will cost you more. But what we actually do here at Mikaels Labs is that we, for smaller startups, if we really believe in their vision and in their products, we offer them really good rates in the beginning. The goal of, if they succeed, then they will also scale, their IT needs. So we also, will succeed with them. So for small startups, we always give as low rates as possible.
Okay. Yeah. And at the beginning of our talk, I did hear you say some classifications, right? You mentioned a couple of different levels of programs. Okay. When some business is working with you and they want to scale and they say, okay, we agree on the scope of the project, here's the money, we give that to you. What can they expect in working with you? What have you seen before maybe that you could help them stay out of trouble regarding?
Yeah, because we've seen a lot, so we can already, in the beginning tell what not to do. But what they can expect is that with us, they will move really fast. We move, sometimes we can build a product in a few months from scratch, compared to, spending a few months of hiring those people, then, putting them to work. So speed is what we offer. And the other thing is the good code quality. So we don't think only short term. We think the architecture through so that it can easily be continued developing over years. So we'll put lots of thoughts into this in the beginning, and then like as you said, really experienced developers and advanced know-how of the newer technologies.
There is a phrase in our notes here before we got on where you've written, "Growing can be more expensive than not growing." Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was making this note about our own company because we're growing pretty fast. It's when you grow, you need to constantly invest more money into hiring, marketing and stuff like this. So that was my point, that growing can be more expensive than not growing. So yeah, but it's more about our company.
Okay. When you're running a project, one of the things that I've seen a lot in development projects over the years is problems with the project timeline. You get something agreed on with the client, and then you start to work, and then something happens to an individual, usually who's like a precious resource, right? There's only one of them, and they become the bottleneck for the project, and they have to get taken off of it maybe and put somewhere else. How do you anticipate and handle things like that, particularly with I would imagine you've got some AI tools to help you.
Yeah, usually with working with startups, we try to take the agile approach, which means that we don't plan too long of a time ahead. So we try to work in sprints, either 1 week sprints, 1 month sprints. So we release product quickly. So it wouldn't be that, if somebody gets sick, then the product development will stop. Also, the fact that, all our developers are senior, and it's easy to replace also developers if, something happens. Also, we try to build in-house tools that make things easier for everybody.
Okay. What is the number one challenge to scaling that you have seen?
I think finding good people is always the most challenging. We are in a really competitive market. There's lots of people going after, especially in the development, people, lots of people try to hire those people you try to hire. So I think finding good people is always I think, at least my experience shows, the most complicated parts.
Yeah. Are you using a standard across the company project methodology like Agile, or is it different every time?
Like I said before, we try to adapt to the clients. We prefer working Agile, but some of the more traditional companies, they want to move with other speed. So we usually adapt to their needs.
Okay. So what is the point where somebody should be thinking about reaching out to talk to your company?
Like, I think if we have something to build, if it's especially something innovative, like we're really happy to jump on a call. We do lots of calls with potential clients. We don't charge anything for our consultations in the beginning. So usually try to have a few calls, try to understand if it's a good match. If it's not, we will be really frank with them and say that it's not a good match. But if it's a good match, then we make proposals, and if it suits, then we get to work, and we are growing our development team right now pretty fast, so we have room for more projects.
Okay, I'm going to dig into that a little bit further on 2 items. What does innovative mean to you?
Like something that is not a copy of Uber or a copy of something. So it actually, the product has some purpose. Like it's either something that hasn't done before, or it's just something really let's say useful for somebody. So
okay, so don't come to you and say I want a copy or clone of Upwork or
we
something.
get quite a lot of those
Okay.
those ideas, and like it should have something that is different. So
yeah. So that's one element of fit for you, that it's solving a unique high brain power problem. And what else is there regarding fit that people should be aware of?
Yeah, I think also you have the domain expertise. So if you try to do something in logistics sector, and that you should understand logistics sector, and also you need to have some funding, or if you're self-funded, then at least some sort of runway, because building stuff takes time, and usually we commit to go all the way, so we expect the clients to also commit to get the product on the market.
Right. Harry, where did that name Mikaels Labs come from?
Yeah, Mikaels is actually in Finnish culture, Finnish language. It means angel, so it's kind of like angel lab.
Makes sense. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Our guest today has been Harry Kanistik of Mikaels Labs. Harry, where can people connect with you? Where's the best place to find you?
They can go to our website, mikaels.com, or send me an email, harry@mikaels.com.
Okay. Feel free to spell that out because we are on audio.
Yeah. mikaels.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for being here today.
Okay. Thank you. And it's nice to meet you.